More worrying news out of Melbourne this morning as coronavirus cases continue their double-digit climb and the Army extends its reach, carrying out thousands of extra tests in the most at-risk suburbs. The crisis in Victoria has raised fears of the dreaded second wave. One Nation leader Pauline Hanson and Stellar Magazine's Sarah Lamarquand join me now. Very good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Pauline, I'll start with you because when we see that spike in Melbourne, maybe the Queensland Premier was right on borders. Were you wrong to push so hard for them to reopen?
Oh, come on, don't pull that one on me. Of course I wasn't wrong. What have we got here? Absolutely nothing. Victoria's got a bigger population. They've had more people coming in from overseas. And, of course, they allowed the huge big rally to go ahead in Victoria, and they didn't even control that, didn't fine anyone. So I'm not worried about that. No, she's not wrong. I think I'm so over this COVID. It's destroyed businesses. They won't be opening again. A lot of these businesses won't open again. And we've lost $55 billion in Queensland due to the COVID and jobs. So, no, I tell you who's running the state, not Anastasia, Jeanette Young, the Chief Health Officer. She's running Queensland now at the moment. So they'll let us know when she thinks it's right to open up the borders. Forget about everyone else. Forget about the business being lost, jobs being lost. The COVID I think it's been a real scaremonger on the people.
So you're not concerned about these outbreaks that we're seeing in Melbourne? I mean, what if some of these people in this hot spot, they decide they want to holiday up on the Great Barrier Reef, they jump on a plane, they head north, and all of a sudden you're starting to see similar outbreaks in Queensland as we are in Victoria? Pauline.
You're lucky. Look, I'm all for, doing the swabs. I've got no problems with it. Someone told me if you see a stick coming this long towards you, be wary of it because it's going to end up halfway down your throat. So anyway, look, I'm all for these swab tests being done. Fair enough, okay. But as far as I'm concerned, I think that this COVID-19 has been blown completely out of proportion. People that die in a car accident and have COVID are considered to have died because of COVID. We've had about, 103, 104 deaths in Australia. The rest of the world's had a lot, but a lot of the people had health issues. Like I keep saying, those people with the health issues, if you're in that age bracket, you have a condition or you're in nursing homes, go and lock yourself away. The rest of the country needs to get moving, open up, and we will end up with such a debt and an economy that's on the downturn, we will never recover for many, many years to come, probably even generations.
Sarah, your thoughts on this? Do you agree with Pauline that the borders should be open?
You know, here's a really unsatisfying answer, Ali. I don't know. And here's an even more unsatisfying answer. Nobody actually does. Every politician in the country has been feeling their way through this. In fact, every politician internationally. In general, I think Australia has actually done a pretty good job. And obviously we've seen a lot of inconsistency among the different states. And that is unavoidable because each state has got different issues of population and how they've controlled their borders has been problematic. And we've seen in Victoria that clearly there's been a lot of issues there, particularly with hotel quarantining. And I read last week up to 30% of people that were in hotel quarantine were refusing to be tested. Now, if Queensland did decide to follow Pauline's advice and open the borders, because it is school holidays in July, and I do really feel for the businesses up there that are hemorrhaging in their millions of dollars, and it's a time of year where so many people head north. So I do have a lot of sympathy for Pauline's position, but like I said, no one's actually going to know for a long time.
Look, I think you're right.
I'll tell you something here. If we don't have a vaccine for the next 2 or 3 years, because that's quite possible, they never found a vaccine for SARS and MERS, what are we going to do? Are we going to keep locked down? You tell me, what are we going to do? What position are we in then?
Yeah, look, I mean, I do feel at the moment like it feels like a them and us, that we're not all working together on this one. We've got to remember that we're Australian and we are in it together.